We are going to continue the follow-up as this case unfolds of the Navy SEAL drop that ended up on the Bone Shard that is being claimed or allegedly started the fire on that ship that cost billions of dollars. But there's been maybe another twist and turn of the story, which I think might add something to this, as his chief and LPL probably are sitting there having a frantic mental breakdown. Now, that's because articles have surfaced showing that this sailor isn't following regulations. Is this a sign that he might want to buck the system? Is this a sign he doesn't respect authority? We'll see. Navy Times, Jeff writes, oops, sailor accused of torching the Bone Shard wore wrong insignia to his Article 32 hearing. Let's be fair here. This is a high profile case where you're like, okay, not a big deal. But I'm saying, like, this is national media attention. You would think there'd be more to this than just some kid showing up. But when Ryan Sawyer Mays walked into a Navy courtroom late last year for a hearing, that would help determine whether he goes to trial for allegedly starting the fire that ultimately destroyed the amphibious assault ship Bone Shard. He did so as a seaman apprentice or E2 rank. But the photos from outside the December hearing show Mays wearing the 3 stripes uniform insignia of a seaman E3 on his left arm. Some people might chalk this up to, like, maybe he wanted to make sure he was ready for when he actually did have to wear it. Doesn't look good. The article goes on to say, despite being an institution well known for its rigorous adherence to standards in all things uniform, the Navy can't explain why the sailor is wearing the wrong insignia. Navy Times asked the San Diego-based U.S. 3rd Fleet why Mays had 3 white stripes on his arm during Article 32 hearing, in which an officer weighed evidence as to whether Mays should stand trial on charges of arson and improperly hazarding a vessel. 3rd Fleet declined comment and referred questions to Mays' civilian defense attorney. I doubt Mays' defense attorney was one that was going to make sure his uniform was appropriate. You know, most times when attorneys are going through any kind of court case, it's like, yeah, wear a suit, tie, get a little haircut, shave your face, make yourself look a little bit presentable for the judge and for the jury, etc. Move on. But the fine details of being a military member, we notice these small things. Navy officials told Barthel and his client that Mays would have a, quotations, proper uniform inspection before the hearing, the attorney told Navy Times. I don't know what happened, but his command did a uniform inspection of him before the Article 32, he said this week. I don't know where the disconnect is on that, but they inspected his uniform twice. Do you guys hear the bus just riding through?
Oh God, he killed himself.
Because I already know they're probably, hearing enough about this from their commanding officer. Prosecutors argued at the hearing that witnesses placed Mays near the site of the fire's origin and that the former Navy SEAL candidate was a, quotations, disgruntled sailor, the Associated Press reported last month. This has important context because Mays has been seen or portrayed in the media as this kid that doesn't follow orders, can't follow regulation, has issues with authority. He has been seen or painted in that light of, like, the reason why he lit the entire ship on fire was because he was so disgruntled that he was now doing regular Navy sailor ship work as a undesignated seaman. As you can see on his shoulder here, he doesn't have a rating badge. So that means he was thrown as a general, pretty much worker that was chipping paint, painting, doing manual labor in the Navy on some of the outside of the ship. Granted, it is in gorgeous San Diego where the weather's typically not that bad, but if you are joining and trying to become a Navy SEAL and go to Buds and be this badass kind of dude, you're going to expect to do that, not chipping paint and doing all these arduous tasks that really don't have that much glorification or meaning to them. While Mays was already suspected of starting the fire at the time of his advancement, the bump up from E1 to E2 is generally automatic following a certain amount of time in service, typically 6 months or 9 months, something like that. Doesn't really matter. But if Mays' command wanted to delay his advancement, they would have had to do it, page 13, administrative action, or give him an adverse evaluation, according to Lauren Hensel, a former Navy attorney now in private practice. Now, that is true, but that would have to be one of those things where they would have to do a non-judicial punishment to document this on a page 13 to reduce him in rank and say what happened. But this is obviously going towards a court-martial, so it's like the command's not going to touch this or try and delay any bit of his automatic advancement. It's not that big of a deal, to be honest. But such a move could have left the Navy open to allegations that they were making a judgment on May's guilt before he was charged, Hansel said. Quotation says, I think that was a prudent and smart, particularly pre-referral or criminal charges in order to avoid any appearance of illegal pre-trial punishment or pre-decision, she said. There's no advantage to the government in preventing this advancement. You know, I look at this case and a lot of people are having skepticism. You can go watch my previous videos. Because realistically, we've seen this case kind of unfold and how he gets painted like this. There's a few aspects I want to bring up. One is the fact that there are people on the ship that have said he has been notorious as a person that has been disgruntled. Two, there were people that did spot him in that location where the fire took place. A third factor here, though, is those people that did see him there cannot confirm which uniform he wore during the pretrial kind of evidence that was being brought into it, and it shows that there were two opposing sides and conflicting testimonies. 4, now you're going to say you see this guy that has made a post on Instagram citing Apocalypse Now, which says, loves the smell of napalm, and now we're also painting this guy as a guy that possibly doesn't like regulation and has this bad uniform, move here where he's not wearing the appropriate rank and has been notoriously in trouble and causing issues on the ship. From what has been said on social media and people talking about it in this case. I don't know how that will affect the jury, as this case has been very public. How can you say that these people will have not seen these types of things floating across videos like mine or Navy Times or whatever else that you're seeing out here? I am very interested to see how this case turns out, because it looks like there's also no physical evidence to place or plant Mays in this situation. So we will definitely see. It looks like the attorney was kind of going on about how this could have been other flammable material while the ship was in a yard period, where there could have been various other people that could have started this fire.
It is one of the tougher crimes to prove, and it does have a relatively low clearance rate, according to the FBI uniform crime reports. Sometimes you can prove it's arson, but you can't prove who did it. Sometimes you can't prove it's arson, so you never get to who did it. So there are a lot of complicating factors.
Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do you think he did it, didn't do it, as we're seeing more of this unfold and kind of piecing together a little bit of his character that maybe people are, alluding to. These are obviously alleged things, and he will get his day in court. If you guys like what we do on this channel, you can always support over at patreon.com for special perks and benefits. And also you can support here on YouTube at the YouTube join button as well for special perks and benefits here on YouTube. As always, if you guys have questions about this or anything else, you can always hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, or down in the comments below. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.